in the 50s, we used to bring the bottles to the man to hook them up. We used to buy them Mother Pride.
And we're speaking about the watchtowers?
Yeah, the watchtowers. The guy that was building them. And we used to bring wagons of bottles to him. He used to give us 5 cents for the little ones, 10 cents for the Mother Pride. Remember the Mother Pride soda?
Oh,
the
yeah.
big ones? Yeah.
Yeah, when I was coming, we got a quarter for them.
Yeah. So we would load them up. I had 2 wagons.
That's what I was going to say on the wagons, the little red wagons.
The red wagons. I had a load of bottles. We used to bring them down there and sell them to him. He was working on that first tower then. So we used to come down and bring him the bottles to do what he got to do and hang out right there, eat lunch. And you remember Pappy's? The little hamburger stand right across from Markham? Yeah. He'll go down and buy everybody breakfast while we at the place. He'll run around the Pappy's and buy everybody burgers because they wasn't nothing but 20 cents a piece. Cheeseburgers was 25, you know what I mean? And you get a big old order of fries that big, man.
That was a good time back then, Alfred.
Yeah, them was good times. And
so how long did you think that he worked on building the watchtowers?
Probably 30, 40 years, because he started in the 50s. Could have been earlier than that. I just remember the 50s, because that's from, I remember from 55 on up. So
yeah, because they got completed, I think, somewhere in the 60s.
Yeah. And he was around for a long time, too.
Man, that's awesome.
Yeah, and he was cool. We didn't feel like he was prejudiced, and we didn't even really know what prejudice was. When you go to the 100 Park, now you got white folks, when you get on the bus, they say, so ladies say, nigger, go to the back. You know what I mean? We was going to the back anyway, you know what I mean? But I didn't have to, you know what I mean? Woman, I could sit right here, but I went on to the back. And they, you know, when I tell people about that, yeah, they called you there. I say, yeah, man, wasn't nothing hid back in the day. You know, when you go to the park, we go to 100 Park to the show. This white boy, I'm practically in the front of the line. The white boy come up, tap me on my back, on my chest like that. Nigger, get at the end of the line. You know what I mean? So I fired. Bow. Then here come 2 more. So I'm working them. And the police come jump straight on me. You know what I mean? Now they got me down, all 3 of them. The police come get me, and this white lady say, no, the nigger didn't do anything. The nigger didn't do nothing. You know what I mean? They started it. You know what I mean? The nigger was protecting himself. Then the other white boy in line said, hey, nigger, when you get finished, you can get your spot back. You know, yeah. But when somebody our age call us niggas, we beat their ass. But when senior citizens call us that, we don't say nothing.
So what was your encounters with the spook hunters? Because I'm sure you being in the 50s, you had encounters with them.
What, spook hunters?
There was the white boys that was coming out of Southgate, Huntington Park. And
they when we go to 100 Park or either go to the show, even out there in Linwood.
The Arden.
Yeah. Now the police didn't look for us out there. They come to the tracks because everything black stayed on across the track. So the police come to the track, cut it off from
Alameda.
No, yeah, on Alameda, but all the way down to what's the projects right there on 55th and Alameda?
Oh, the Pueblos.
Yeah, the Pueblos. They go to the Pueblos. They stop and watch, and they pile up in Compton. You know, everywhere blacks live, you got police cars lined up. Because every time you do something, they come to the tracks. They know that we got to cross them tracks. And white boys used to be after us in trucks with bats and everything else, and we had them rocks. Remember them flavor rocks? We call them flavor rocks. You could
the round ones, yeah.
Now the round ones you can throw straight and hit them right in the middle of the forehead, and them curved rocks, you hit them all in the temple. You know what I mean? Boom! The rocks went down. Bam!
I actually talked about that, Alfred, because here's the thing. I understood that the police would allow the white boys to attack y'all across the track, but when y'all try to come over the tracks, they cut you off.
Yeah, it ain't happening.
Yeah, and see, the police had this much responsibility in that as the white people that were attacking black communities. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But also, I want to ask you: did you ever go to the Lobby Inn was on 120th and Avalon. There was a Lobby Inn, and then there was Jeff D's and the Naughty Pine. It was all the clubs.
Yeah, and it was the motorcycle club right there too on the 120th and Avalon, and Eve After Dark was on.
Well, that was Jeff D's back then.
Yeah, it was on Avalon and.
LC Gunny.
Huh?
LC Gunny.
Yeah.
That was Jeff D's back then. Alfred.
Yeah.
So,
I went.
Go ahead.
I went. Wherever they party in our club and are doing whatever, I'm usually there. And I don't never stay long, you know, because I always run across something.
The Lobby Inn was popping. I was a little kid watching all them, you know, grown people going up in there.
Yeah. I only be in there long enough to catch me a woman, and I'm gone, you know. So, I was just like.
So.
Oh, go ahead.
The Linwood police, right, in them white cars, because you guys, the white boys was coming around, you know, doing what they doing, but I think they played a big part in attacking black people.
Yeah. But see, back then, it wasn't no secret, you know what I mean? In the sense they took the N-word out, you know what I mean? If you think a white person gonna say, oh, I was seeing this African American. No, it ain't go. That's too long. You know, this nigger was doing, you know what I'm saying, straight out. You know what I mean? When they get home, you a nigger. You know, but back then, them white folks wasn't nothing to play with, man. Especially in Long Beach, at Point Farm. You ever been to Point Farmer? Down at Long Beach, man.
I was actually San Pedro.
Yeah, San Pedro. In the pipe, when we get there, like the police had told us, because the last bus left at 12, they say, if y'all here after 12, you're going to jail. So we put all the kids on the bus, sent them home. So we walked back from Long Beach, you know what I mean? When police swooped up, we was on our way home because we missed the last bus. And then another thing, it was like 15 of us, right? And we ran across a black family, and they let us all in the house. You know what I mean? Brought us all in, called our parents, you know, let them know where we was, and we was all right. And if y'all can't come get them, we'll send them home about 6 in the morning. So they made us sandwiches and everything, and the next morning we caught the bus on home. But back then, it was hard, especially with the white folks. But my mother said, if y'all was born in Louisiana, I wouldn't have no kids. Y'all kick white folks in the ass and all that. I said, no, Mama said if we was born back south, we would have knew better. You know what I mean? We would have knew not to call them, mess with no white folks, you know. But down here in California, man, you take them out, you know, knock them out. I beat up so many white folks, and Mexicans and Chinese. And every time we go to the show and see Bruce Lee, everybody want to fight, you know. They get through, they come out, but each race is looking for somebody else. Now we looking for white, you know what I mean? Why we end up fighting Mexicans? Mexicans looking for white too. All of us was really looking for whites, but we always end up fighting each other, you know. And a lot of times it'd be blacks that started, man, we don't want y'all, man, we want them. Say, oh man, you know, so we end up fighting them. Now the Brims, they the first ones to carry choke chains and razors. You remember them choke chains?
What year did you encounter the Brims?
Oh, in the 70s, 74, 75. I always knew who they was, you know.
Yeah, because they came out probably before the Crips.
Yeah. The Brims was out before the Crips. But when I was just talking about when we had this little thing with them, it was in the 70s. And they all carried choke chains and razors. And when we all used to fighting, so yeah. And I love the way they dress too.
Yeah, I heard originally the Brims came off that west side.
Yeah, man, they had their little brims on, their little leather coats and shit. They be clean.
Yeah.
So you made it to Chino. What was Chino like?
Chino was like Disneyland to me. It's like kind of like the haciendas, you know what I mean? That's what it looked like, little low buildings. I was in CIM, so it was Disneyland, you know. And the dorm was redwood. And everybody, they never seen me in jail because I didn't go to jail. So when I looked out the window, you know how they put you in what's your name before you can come out? I was in there 3 weeks, and I looked out the window and everybody was out there. Man, what you doing in here? I said, man, I don't know. They tricked me. You know what I mean? And she said, man, well, don't worry about nothing. When they released me, man, out of the thing to go to the yard, man, I had oysters, clams, everything. They just built my locker up. And
because they recognize you as that hand guy.
Yeah.
They do.
And then when we go to the chow hall, I walk in with the Crips and go sit with the Bloods and walk out with them, you know, because I knew everybody. And I was over in the C program with Compton. That's all Compton over there. So I go over there and hang out with them. So didn't nobody never say nothing because I wasn't never in no gang, and I run with who I want to run with. Mm-hmm. These my boys, so I'm going to go holler at him, and go holler at them, and go holler at them, you know.
Did you ever have a fight with a Crip or a Blood?
No.
Never?
Unless I fought one and didn't know it.
Uh-huh.
But when most of y'all in my fight, they wasn't even out yet. So Raymond started the Crips in 1968. And I was still going to jail for everything, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Take me to watch police station, stand straight, turn to the side, you know, all this. But the people never said that it was me, and I was so glad, you know what I mean? They never said, no, that's not him. Because I didn't bribe, I didn't jack, I didn't do none of that. That wasn't my thing.
When you first laid eyes on Raymond, what was your thoughts?
When I first seen him, he wasn't no gang, wasn't in no Crip. He hadn't started.
He was a
yet.
kid.
Yeah, he hadn't started it yet, but he was buck when he got out of jail. Man, he was yoked up, you know. I wanted to hang with him, but I didn't want to be around no gangs. I didn't like being around no gangs, so we met a few times, and I've seen him a few times, but he is the original Crip. I don't give a damn what nobody say. Raymond Washington is the first Crip, man. That's it.
I'm a street nigga, streets fuck with me. I'ma keep pushing products till the feds get me. It's guap off top.